Alright guys, we're doing an iPhone 11 here. You can see where the screen has been cracked. Normally we try to power the device off. In this particular case, it's not wanting to work. I'm going to show you what to do when we get that far. What you're going to want is the bit that will be required to take off the bottom. 2 screws on the bottom. The one that I use is a Starbit 0.8. There are other measurements similar. You're going to be taking those 2 screws out. Give me 1 second. So I've left one of the screws still in. Set them off to the side over there. And then we're going to be taking the screen off of this. For that, you'll need your jimmy. So when you're going to remove the screen with the jimmy, you'll want to start down here on the bottom. With 11s, it's a little easier to find, but right here you'll see a seam, and you'll push the jimmy in, making sure to get to the bottom of the frame behind the screen, and you'll want to pry against it. It's not uncommon for it to explode glass at you when this happens, but you'll want it to be pressed up or pulled up about like that. Then you'll want to slide your jimmy around the edge. All the way down. I tend to keep my fingertips inside of the frame to prevent it from closing up. Keep the jimmy inside and just slide it all the way down. When you have it there towards the top, it'll almost sandwich like this. I still got some strands there. You'll take it using this finger here, your third finger, push down on the bottom so that it creates a small gap up here that you can fit your jimmy into. Just pry against it, and it should pop right up. Ooh, should clip back down. With 11s, they will open to the right. More often than not, you'll see them opening the other direction. So for the purposes of this video, I'm allowing the screen to lay all the way flat. It is pulling tension on the ribbons here. With the new screens, the replacements, you don't want to do this. It can potentially damage the ribbons. Given that I'm already pulling this screen off, I'm not worried about it. Now, you're going to want to remove, on the 11s, the screws found here. There's going to be one right underneath here as well. The bit that you're going to use is a Y000. Bring it to the focus. Yeah, it's not going to focus. It's a Y000 bit. You're going to want to take off these 5 screws. Once you have the 5 screws taken off, the plate will lift right up. You want to set it down here alongside your other screws, keeping the screws in a pattern very similar to how they came out of the plate. It is relevant. And then you follow the ribbons. This ribbon snapped in the process, but it'll be that ribbon. Came off right there. Same with these. Hook your fingernail underneath the edge and just pry upward. We still got some of that. There's the old screen. Now, because the device was still powered on whenever I took the screen off, you'll notice whenever you put the new screen on, sometimes the new screen doesn't come on immediately. To solve this, I've discovered at least 2 different ways. There's probably others, but go ahead and just pop the battery cable. This essentially kills the phone. That way, whenever you put the new screen on, excuse me, when you put the new screen on, you power it on, the screen will come on. There are other phones where you won't have access to the battery cable by doing the screen. I will cover that whenever we get there. So now we have the new screen. It will usually come with a film on the back. You just peel that off. You want to line it up so that the frame sits on the edge, and then start attaching the ribbons. So this screen did come to life whenever I plugged it in. Funny that. But you'll see where that ribbon, third one to the right, and those 2 ribbons, you'll feel them click as you push them down. Now what you'll want to do is, while suspending the screen, you can use a tool for this. Use your hand. You just don't want it falling back. You want to be able to keep it pretty much at a 90 to the base of the phone here. Put the plate back on, reassemble the screws. Alright guys, now I have the, there we go. Now I have the 5 screws back in place. We're going to go ahead and close up the phone. Let's go power it off right quick. When you go to close these, you want to center it as best you can and start from the top, making sure the top sets in, and then just work your way down the entire length of the phone. Like so. And you return the 2 bottom screws. And there you have it. You're ready to move on to the calibration step.